Welcome back to day 5 of the Live Your Best Life Transformation Week. I'm so excited. We are down to the last 3 days of the challenge. Oh my God, I can't believe we are already here. And I'm hoping that yesterday's exercise on putting yourself first was enlightening, to say the least, because it's really interesting when you start to look at that and look at how you're spending your time on other people. You're like, oh my God, yes. So that is going to be a great tool for you to move forward in your year. Putting yourself first, like that is one of the major tools that will definitely help you achieve your goals. So let's hop right on in to module 5, where we are talking about how are you spending your time. So when we are talking about spending time, I'm gonna ask you, when was the last time you sat back and did an accounting of how you spend all of your hours in a week? So I'm not sure if you know this off the top of your head, but there are 168 hours in a week. And it's pretty interesting when you see that and you start to calculate how many hours you spend in certain areas. You're like, whoa, like you can, off the top, some of us have 4-hour commutes a day. So if you do 4 times 5 days a week, because I'm hoping that you're not commuting 7 days a week, but if you do 4 times 5 days a week, that's 20 hours right there. So that takes you down to 148 hours. And then hopefully, and then you're working maybe 40 hours a week. So that takes you down to 108 hours. What else are you doing during that time? And the thing is that if you're actually working more than 40 hours a week, that takes you down even lower. So the thing about living your best life and trying to transform the way your mindset and the way you achieve your goals, you have to have an understanding of where you're spending time, because the reality is that in order for you to achieve something new, you're gonna have to stop doing something else. So when you're looking at your week and how you spend it, you have to look at all the things that you're doing and see what it is that you're willing to give up. You can't just add this thing in. You have to give something up. And I'm not sure if you've heard the saying or the quote, or I've heard it somewhere. They say, if you want to know what people value, look how they are spending their time. Look at how they are spending, look at their schedule. If you see mine, you'll see like working out all the time on there. So you know I value fitness. And you also can look in a person's bank account and see how they value, what they value. You can see in the month of December, I spent a lot of time socializing and out to dinner. And so in the month of December, I valued socializing. And so I want to know, is it true for you if I were to look at your schedule and say that the way you spend your time is on the things that you value? Sometimes we're spending a lot of time on things that we don't value. We're spending a lot of time in a job that we don't like, or we're spending time on an activity that we're just doing because we're obligated to do. So we want to make sure that you are spending time on things that you do value. And we want to make sure that you are looking at your time and saying, okay, this works for me. This worked for me last year or whatever, in the past in my life. And I'm willing and able to have, I'm willing and able to be open to new things. So today's assignment, I'm going to have you guys look at how you spend your time in your life, and that's where you decide where you want to make some adjustments so that you can add in new activities, so that you can achieve your goals, so that you can live your best life. And in my book, The Resilient Mind, A Field Guide to a Healthier Way of Life, I talk about when I had to make that decision on how I was spending my time. So I am a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and I was the chapter president. I was just all of the things. Like I was just all into the sorority. And when it came to me deciding that I wanted to do this, that I wanted to be a person who inspires, I wanted to be a person who wrote a book, I wanted to be a person who shared my story, I looked at the chunks of time I was spending on all these activities, and I realized that the largest chunk of time I was spending was on my sorority. And so I had to make the decision that it is more valuable to me to touch lives and to be here to share my experience with you, that I'm gonna pull back from the sorority. And yeah, people weren't okay. People were like, oh wow, you know, I can't believe you're doing this. And you know, for me, it was kind of like going back on my word, because I was like, oh, I'm always gonna be, you know, in it. I'm always gonna be financial. I'm always gonna be giving my time. But I had to come to Jesus moment that was like, okay, well, what do you want? You can't have both. So that's all for today. And tomorrow we're going to be getting closer to winding down. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about upskilling ourselves and learning new things as a means to transform our life. Enjoy your day, and I will see you tomorrow.